Okay, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing 5 minutes of free writing. So as some of you know, some of you may have done it in, your classrooms or tab sessions. There are two rules to free writing exercise. The first is that you do not stop writing at any given point. If you are working on a Word document, or if you are writing down, you don't lift your pen and you don't ever stop typing. You let it take whatever direction it has to take. And second rule is that you really do not practice as you're writing. You just let your sentiment come to you. You just let whatever it is that you're working on come naturally to you, and you don't try to practice whatever it is you want to say. So for this free writing exercise, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be writing a rant. The rant as a format is a heavily, it's been used in heavily sexist and misogynist connotations. The idea of when, women and women identifying members stand up for themselves or confront any kind of injustice they face, they've been told that they're ranting or whining. The idea of a rant is particularly, it also has racial undertones. It's often used for women of color. And there is so much negativity about it, but we all know that when we're confronted with the kind of anger that is so hard to dissipate, a rant just feels perfect. A rant just feels like such a release to just blurt it all out, whatever's coming. So I want you to think about the colors that Chelsea guided you through in the meditation exercise, and reintegrate that, and just for 5 minutes rant on your piece of paper. Just say whatever it is you have to say.
We are using these to also lead on to our next activity. Okay, so we really want you guys to bring everything you're feeling, all the frustrations. We've been cooped up inside. This sucks. We want to bring all of it into this. Okay, and wherever that brings you.
The policy people don't care. We're angry that the heroes are underpaid. We're angry that the working class is treated like they don't exist, but they're required to be at the front lines of this pandemic. So whatever it is that you really want to integrate into your life, just write that down, and your time starts now.
Okay, finish up your sentence as best you can. Finish up your thought. Okay. So we are cutting it a little close on time here. So if you guys would like to pop your theme into the little chat box here, you guys can, but I'm also going to start explaining our next activity, okay? So you don't have to put in exactly what you wrote, but you can say what you were writing about if you would like to, or if you feel comfortable to as well. So what you guys are going to be doing with these free writes, okay? So you guys are going to be taking them. So you're going to take your rants and you are going to be creating a blackout, or what's also called an erasure poem. So when you're creating that, many of you likely know this. I know that when we were, I know you guys have done this kind of stuff before. Many of you were teaching artists. But for those of you that don't know, what it basically is that you will be taking select lines, okay? So from this kind of stream of consciousness, kind of like that I just put onto this page, right? You are going to be taking select phrases and you are going to be creating a new piece of poetry out of it, okay? So you guys can see the examples here on the screen, okay? So you can be creating artwork out of this. I know that many of you likely wrote this in a Word doc. So what you can also do is you can just be blocking out phrases or using the highlighter tool to take other parts out or make other parts stand out. And you're going to be creating a new piece of writing. And that piece of writing can be in conversation with your rant. It can be an image that kind of stands out to you. And it doesn't have to be linear. It can also just be phrases that connect together. So for example, you can see here in this one that Maher has just put up on the screen, summer is cooking my heart. So we may be taking a whole kind of, enormous piece of prose or writing that we just put out there. And then there might be some image, there may be certain words that are just kind of speaking to you, and it may succinct into one small line like this. So there's no right or wrong way to do that. So what we're going to ask you is, if you wrote it down, you can be scratching it out on your piece of paper and creating a new image if you would like to. You can also do it on your Word doc using your highlighter tool. If you're not sure how to do it, we can pop a question into the chat box as well. But is everybody clear on this next activity that you're going to be doing? Can we get a little thumbs up if we're clear?
If you can see, I just did that on my screen.
Yeah.
If you're using a Google Doc or a Word doc, just select the piece and go on your highlighter and just turn it black. What
you
helps?
You can also choose the color that you were imagining in your meditation.
Mm-hmm. For me, it's always black. So.
Me too. I mean, we live in New York, right? Let's be honest. Okay, so guys, I'm going to give you guys 7 minutes on this. Okay. So we're going to have 7 minutes, then we're going to regroup and reflect on this activity. Okay, guys, finish up what you're working on. Take it to a couple of seconds. Okay, so first of all, just so you guys know, I know that we're heading up to our 3:30 mark. We might be going over by about 5 minutes. If you guys have somewhere to be, you need to head off, we're totally respectful of your time. Please feel free to head off when you need to. It's no problem. Okay. So those of you that feel comfortable with it, we would love it if you could maybe use the share screen option at the bottom and share your blackout erasure poem. Does anyone feel comfortable doing so? Or feel comfortable reading? Minsu, would you feel comfortable? Yeah? Do you know how to do it?
I've never done the share screen before. Do I just click the green button?
Yeah, so if you click the green button, and then it will usually give you an option of what you're going to share. So it can be your whole screen, it can be just the program that you were using.
Do you see it?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Awesome.
You do?
Yes. Would you mind reading it out for us?
Yeah. Boiling, if not at least simmering, to love and be loved by my loved ones, trifling thoughts without the luxury of wealth. No stardom to heal, my friends, but my arms are tied. Briefest hug. Trace the dimensionality of my lovers, the sensation of vibrating air molecules from forth their larynx. Flatten images of latency and lags of desynchronized audio. Heats, the evil forces preventing life from living. Races, 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 and my lungs long to scream, but I stay quiet. There is enough contagion. I try to spread hope until I lose my breath.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Briefest hug really stood out to me in both the memory of it and the desire of it. Like, you know, so many of us feel like we don't want a lot of it. Just the sensation, just the physical sensation of being held and holding someone. Really enjoyed the visceral details, but also the awareness of, you know, the contradictions of our time. Like, I don't want to spread the contagion, but I want to spread hope and friendship, and I long to just scream, but I stay quiet.
Oh, I think you just muted yourself.
How did I do that?
I don't know.
Both out of self-preservation and both out of self-preservation, but also because the times require us to be sort of subdued in a way. And I really enjoyed that.
Me too. I love synchronized audio also, because I think for me that spoke to, obviously, you know, we're constantly having to video chat and everything is, you know, technical error all the time. But I think it also for me spoke to the nature of like kind of saying something but we're not saying that, and kind of like the kind of miscommunications that can exist even within all of this, and how we're maybe never saying things at the right time. It brought up a lot for me. I really loved that line.